Okay, this is my review of ROH Champions versus All Stars and Only the Strong Survive. These are the two most recent releases from ROH, and I was pretty entertained. So let's start with it. Okay, Champions versus All Stars was in Richmond, Virginia. Pretty good crowd. We started with Roderick Strong running his mouth, talking shit, and Christopher Daniels came out. Said they shouldn't be arguing, they should be working together because they are in an 8-man tag main event, but Roderick doesn't care, starts shit, they get in a match. It's it's a pretty good little match, and Hero and Castagnoli come out as it's heating up. They try to break it up, but Daniels just uses that as a distraction, and he rolls up Roderick for the 3. Okay, then we had Grizzly Redwood and Andy Right Leg Ridge versus the Bravado brothers, Lance and Harlem. I'd give this like a solid 56, like a 56%. It's not that solid. It was a good match, showcased the new ROH guys, and Grizz was good always. And, right leg looked pretty good. The Bravados looked awesome. Lance Bravado was looked like he was dropping loads in this one. If you've ever watched porn, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's the creepy part. Yeah, that match is just good. Then we had Adam Cole versus the Prodigy, Mike Bennett. I get this at like 49%. Cole worked really hard to make this match work, and Bennett returned the favor by being really, really, really dull and bland and not doing much, really. Kind of a douchebag. Or he's just really green. Then we got King's Wrestling came out, and Chris Hero, of course, brought the microphone with him. Kings want Davey to face Generico because Daniels faced Roderick earlier, and it would like even the odds. Of course, they refuse, being the faces, and they want to win. So Kings of Wrestling jump them. Claudio hits the deadlift German suplex on Generico, just destroys him. Hero nails Davey, and the Briscoes come out to make the save and chase the Kings off. Okay, then we had our first, I'd say, like really good match of the night. Rhett Titus versus the notorious 187 Homicide. This one was really violent, really stiff. Rhett looked like he belonged the whole time. Really competitive in this match. Homicide busted him open at one point with a headbutt. He was just pouring all over the place. Really good stuff. Okay, then we had Steve Corino versus Kaleb Conley. He's like a new guy, Kaleb. Like he's been around before, but I don't know. He's not like full-time or anything. Corino just, he does his pre-match little self-reflection of sorts. And says he wants to help young talent and stuff. He thinks Caleb's going down the wrong path, so he wants to have a match with him and like show him how to do it the proper way, all that stuff. Now this match served a purpose. It wasn't the best match ever, but it served its purpose. Furthers the Corino story, like 47%. Then we had Colt Boom Boom Cabana versus Caprice Coleman. I guess Caprice used to wrestle, and then he retired, became like I don't know, like an ordained minister or something, and like gave motivational speeches. Like he's pretty good at talking. You don't usually see any guys that just come out with those skills. They develop over time. Yeah, this guy's good. The banner was good. It was lots of playing around, lots of stops in the matches, but it was still really fun. Just wasn't like the greatest wrestling match. It was still like 49%. Then we had Kenny King versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match was excellent. It's like 77%. Very, very good stuff. O'Reilly with the stiff strikes and his arm bars and his triangles and all that. King had his kicks and his speed and his athleticism. It was just really good stuff. The future of Ring of Honor is in these guys' hands, so it's looking pretty good. It's not like breakneck pace, but it wasn't predictable. And the finish was good. Alright, then we had the main event, Champions versus All-Stars. The champions, obviously, the world champion Roderick Strong, tag team champions Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, Kings of Wrestling. And the TV champion Christopher Daniels against the All Stars, Davey Richards, El Generico, and the Briscoe brothers. Yeah, the champions were reluctant to start except for Daniel, so of course he had to start the match with Davey. They had some really good chain wrestling, just really competitive, but without like striking each other. They kind of refused to do that. Yeah, just really good stuff. Uh, as strong as Duck and Davey like crazy in this match, but playing some mind games. So Davey and Claudio, they kind of have a go. They have really good chemistry. I can't wait to see them wrestle again. It's really good. The size difference and the styles clashing, it's just good. A lot of tension between Daniels and his teammates. Looked like they could have hit each other at any moment. They had Jay Briscoe though isolated for a long time, and they worked on him pretty good until Jay got the advantage and tagged Generico. Hot tag. Generico sprints in like Charlie Sheen on speed, just takes everyone out, winning, and yeah, he's really good. Yeah, then Davey comes in like a madman, tries to kill Strong, and nearly succeeds in doing so. We get like signature move melody from almost everyone in the match. Yeah, Davey takes out everyone with a shooting star to the outside. Except for Mark Briscoe and Chris Daniels, and they finish it up with a nice little finishing stretch. Good action. Fans go home happy. Awesome match. Just bonus note: the new ring announcer. Well, I'm pretty sure Bob Cruz is still working with them, but this guy is a big guy. He looked like Hurley from Lost, so that was really fucking cool. And his introductions were really cool, and they never got like robotic or anything. Just good stuff. And a very enjoyable show overall. Only downside was Bennett kind of half-assing it, if that. Final rating of 7.5 out of 10. This new thing I got from ProRes .tv forums. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good was the main event, obviously, and the New Blood Rising in Ring of Honor. Now, the New Blood Rising is not to be confused with the abortion of a pay-per-view WCW put out in 2000, I think, 2001. I think it was the last show. Thanks Zeus for that, huh? The bad, we had Mike Bennett obviously half-assing it with Adam Cole when Cole was trying to make him look like a star. So it didn't quite work out. And the ugly, huge fucking gash on Rhett Titus' head. Good show. Then we had Only the Strong survive the next night in Charlotte, North Carolina. The opener was Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly versus Lance and Harlan, the Bravados. I get this at like 69%. Really hot opener, very fast paced, very intense, very fun. Both teams look great. This was like ENC versus the Hardys, only they didn't need gimmicks and ladders, chairs, tables. And basically the Hardys couldn't wrestle as good as any of these guys. Ever. Sure can now. Yeah, just great friggin' match. Hot opener, really hot opener. It set the pace. Show never dipped at all. Then we had Rhett Titus versus Caprice Coleman. Coleman looked really good the night before, and he looked good again in this one. I'd like to see ROH sign him full time. Just do great stuff. A hell of a lot, hell good just match. Titus looked good. Titus looked even better than Coleman. I almost said Patrice O'Neal. It's a comedian. Then we had Colt Cabana versus Grizzly Redwood, and this was billed as like a friendly catch-as-catch-can type of matchup. It was very, very fun. It was actually hilarious at some points. They did a Three Stooges thing. They're slapping each other, and it was just really funny. Because I used to like Three Stooges, so I don't know. Match kind of turned me on in a non-sexual way. Finishing stretch is actually pretty competitive. And it's a good match. I like Grizzly. I like Colt too. It's good guys. They can wrestle too. They're not just fun. Then we get the Bravados cutting the promo in the men's washroom with their bandwagon members. Sorry for doing those quotations. It's like twice I've done that before. You know, the bandwagon members are just people that had to take a leak. Either way, this was they said, basically 2011 was the year of the Bravados. Get on the bandwagon, all that shit. Join the club. Good stuff. Bravados are good. They're good at being heels by not being too heelish. Subtle. It's good. Then we had the Prodigy Mike Bennett versus Cedric Alexander. Alexander was decent. Bennett basically squashed him. So I think he should only be doing squashes until he is going to get his ass beat, because he can't carry a match. No way. Okay, then we had the first great match of the night. The Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels versus Claudio Castagnoli with Shane Hagedorn and Sarah Del Rey. Del Rey got a huge pop. Hagedorn got a huge booze. This is like pure physical domination from Claudio early on. Daniels is much smaller, so Claudio just muscled him around and played with him until Daniels found a weakness, got to the arm of Claudio, his uppercut arm. Claudio is obviously, ambidextrous, so he uses his left arm pretty good until his right arm's kind of like healed up a little. Daniels leaps from the top rope and Claudio catches him in like kind of a powerbomb. And instead of taking the powerbomb, Daniels gives him the Hurricane Rana to the outside, which is pretty intense because how big Claudio is. Daniels then goes for a senton off the apron like a la Rey Mysterio. And Claudio catches him and throws him into not one side, both sides of the barricade. It's pretty brutal. It's awesome though. Claudio was just really beating the hell out of Daniels, and the finishing stretch was intense. Daniels looked awesome. Won a match, right? 83%. Then backstage we go again to the Bravado brothers. Actually, in the bathroom again. What are these guys fucking living there? They got all their Carolina supporters. They're acting like they're the greatest thing since early morning surprise hand jobs. Which, they're not, because those are the best. These guys are basically pandering to children and bald men, overweight bald men, and gaining more bravado bandwagon jumpers, which is good. Then we get Corino cutting a promo about his evil deeds and his journey to redemption, his career, all that stuff. It's supposed to be Corino versus Andy Rich, but Corino wants to tag with Andy against, I'll call them two jobbers from Alabama. They're actually decent wrestlers. It's really tiny. I don't know, I guess it's like 50%. Corino basically feels ashamed when he throws a guy into the steel guardrail, even though he's protecting himself, all that stuff. He's playing the role really well. He wants to do evil stuff sometimes, but he stops himself, so it's good. He wants to keep it very catch-as-catch again. Doesn't even want to double team. Corino has the win, the Eternal Dream, but instead of going for the pin, he tags in Ridge for Ridge to get the pin in the Glory. So that's kind of different for Corino. Turns the page, new and improved, or it could be all a ruse. Then we had a great match between Christopher Daniels and Davey Richards. Obviously, it's not going to be anything less than like awesome. I don't know. Other people probably find it better than me, but I got it like 78, 79%. Match starts off like I like, really smooth chain wrestling. It's like seamless. You can't even. They're so good. Hero lets it be known that he's going for the concussed brain of Davey. Davey's like pretty much bringing on motherfucker. He actually said something like that in the match. Davey receives a lot of stiff kicks and mushroom stomps to the head. And he also receives a Lawler-esque pile driver. It's like jumpy pile driver. It's just freaking sick right here. Davey takes more damage than a villain in a bad horror movie series. He just keeps coming back for more. It got a little much. It got actually a lot much, but you know, the only problem with it was Davey taking too much. Yeah, Davey comes back like Superman. I like the guy, but shit, he doesn't need to do that every match. How about title matches only? Then we have Four Corner Survival. We had Homicide versus El Generico versus Kenny King versus Mark Briscoe. I got this at like 68%. Kenny King showed he belongs in there with like the more established stars. Just this is how you do a four-way match. Somebody tell Gabe Sapolsky, involved in Future USA. It's not just flip, 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 flip. It doesn't make a match. It just makes a bunch of skinny green guys get over for about a minute, and then people forget who they are. Hope he watches this. Okay, yeah. This was anything but the apathy-inducing Dragon Gate 4-way. So, Generico picks up the win with a devastating brainbuster. Homicide loses it because obviously he wasn't in the match when it ended. So, Cop Killer to Generico finally gets it. Just brutal. Yeah, it's great stuff. Then we had Roderick Strong versus Jay Briscoe, which this is my match of the year. I like 86% maybe. Like, just starts off with some mad scrambling, chaining together moves. Roderick obviously came in as like the stronger wrestler, but Jay comes in the stronger brawler. But then it kind of rolls almost reverse. But first, Roderick rolls Jay to the outside, or rolls to the outside to avoid Jay, and really stupid move. Probably the worst decision he's made since his choice of attire for the Philadelphia street fight a few years back. 2 or 3 people, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, Jay just got busted open by Roderick, stiff punches and everything. This is worse than what Rhett got, I think. Roderick was pounding on him like a railroad spike, like the prisoners used to do in the chain gangs. But like Stephen Bonner, the more Jay bleeds, the better he gets, the angrier he gets. Just like a modern day version of Hart versus Austin. You can get a Jay driller through the table. Just they go all out. It's not overkill though. You can believe everything that happens, unlike Davey's match on the card. And just great stuff. Roderick shows that he's a great, great champion. He just keeps getting better. Amazing show, no flaws at all, I would say. Maybe Davey selling, but 9 out of 10. For a show that's not even supposed to be like a main show or pay-per-view, like even for a show that is supposed to be a pay-per-view, this is fucking awesome. Now the good, the bad, and the ugly for this would be Jay putting on the performance of the year with Roderick. Definitely the match of the year right now. Best performance of the year, and the show as a whole, just good. The bad, there wasn't anything really. Even Mike Bennett looked good, or at least okay. The ugly would be Jay Briscoe's forehead. He got busted open worse than Rhett, and basically his head looked like a water cooler full of V8, and somebody jammed the tap and it kept running. Just very badass to use that and actually become better. Brutal match, great show, just epic. Check it out. Alright, I hope they let me upload this because it's pretty long. Later.